Right, to switch the topic a little bit, right, this is a question. This is actually a topic we have literally never discussed, even in private conversations, because I've actually never discussed it with anyone from NiP. So I want to ask, which is, if we rewind a second, when it was 2015, and this was the year where, as you said, you didn't really win the championships. You were still like at the beginning of the year, you were one of the better teams. Obviously, you were in the major final and stuff. Even at your worst, you'd usually be like semi-final team. Like, it's still a bad tournament, would probably be quarterfinals. You know, you're still one of the top, like, I'd say 5-6 teams in the world. It's just that there was a lot of competition. During this time period is when I came up with that term, NiP Magic, right? Which is what I used to say whenever you would sort of upset win over a team that you were favoured to lose to, right? Yeah. Now, what people won't know is this, is at the time, everyone in NiP fucking hated that term because as far as I can tell, I'm going to guess, like, I think you guys thought I was doing it to be like, you know, if you win, it doesn't count, you know, it's like magic and, you know, the other team was supposed to win. So I know, for example, there was a final, it was one of the Gfinity finals where when I came out, like, I tried to come up to you and do, like, you know, like high five or something. You were just like, fuck off, like, because you must have heard me like doing the commentary after the game, like, oh, there's no NiP Magic in this game or something, you know. And I know the NiP guys didn't like it. Now, obviously later, especially once you got acclimatized to the fact you're not going to win every tournament anymore, you know, it's a different day and time. What's funny is, not only did you guys warm up to it, but I actually think most of those players from that classic NiP lineup love that term now. Like, they love, I know it's fucking Forest always has that like graphic they made, and people that like the t-shirt and stuff. And now I even saw they started using it on Twitter. So like, what was why did it bother you so much initially? Because I have to say, right, I'm not saying this just to say I made a genius concept. Like, it was something I just thought of in the moment. But if I look at the later days, especially when you would win those tournaments out of nowhere, it's kind of cool actually. Like, I thought it was kind of like an interesting storyline.
It is. To be honest, I have no answer to that. That's the honest answer. I think we just took it badly. Like, I don't know why we took it badly. It doesn't make any sense that we took it badly either. But we just took it wrongly. Like, that's the thing. And eventually we understood it more and more. And I think it's a way more fitting thing to that team and later on in the stage. The only problem I have with it nowadays, maybe, is that that saying is more to it fits us, the older generation. I think it doesn't fit, it doesn't really fit maybe the newer guys in a
no, it doesn't really make sense to say it now, does it? No.
Yeah, in a way, but then at the same time, maybe it comes to the point as well, so it makes sense again. But then that time period, for us, it didn't make sense, and we took it way wrongly than we should have done, if you ask me. And that's the honest answer. To this day, I love the thing, like the whole NiP Mag thing, but I know for sure I got pissed every time that I heard it in the beginning, and I still don't know why. Like, I think we just took it so badly wrong. And when you think about it and look at it, it's nothing bad. It is a good thing. It's like, you know, what is that saying? You know, Goliathus and
David and Goliath.
Yeah, like it's basically like that saying in a way, but in a more modern age. You know, like, everyone is saying, you know, Goliath is gonna win, right? That's the whole thing, you know. And we're the underdogs, so it is not a bad thing when you think about it. But I don't know. Like I said, we took it so fucked up wrong, and that's the honest answer, at least from my head. I don't know if someone else, maybe Freiburg, maybe Forrest. I know Forrest, like you said, he loves it nowadays. But you know, we were just stupid kids.
Sure. Because the thing is, like I say, it's actually, like, I mean, even when I came up with that term, actually, you hadn't had a lot of the finals people now probably remember as NiP Magic. But it's one of those weird things where it became more true than even I thought of. I thought of it as a throwaway comment, you know, like a witty thing to say. Yeah. But the funny thing is, it's such an awesome way to describe what happened. Because if people know the later period, 2016, 2017, some of the championships you won at this point in time, they're all amazing. They're all like crazy underdog wins, like the Malmös, the IM Aucklands, obviously, Star Series. Like, these were incredible, because these were the time period where you weren't the best, right? You weren't the number one team. In fact, most times the team playing you was like everyone thought that team was going to win. So, like, what do you think it is? Because I notice this seems to be a trend, right? That when someone's a champion and they drop off a bit, they might not be the best team, but they still sort of remember how to win the matches or something like that. Because I've noticed that's kind of what I always thought you guys did to the TSM guys, for example. Like, they might have been better, but do they know how to win in the big game? Do they know how to win when it's pressured? You know, what do you do in that scenario? So what do you think of this era when you were kind of like winning these championships out of nowhere? It would kind of keep things going, you know, kept it interesting.
Never thought about it, to be honest. I don't know. I don't think I have an answer. I never thought about it. I need to think a little bit about it.
'Cause I'll give you an example. I noticed when you did your like retirement speech, basically, where you wrote that thing out. One of the things that I'd never thought of this way is because, again, I'm used to following the tournament. Like, I can remember a lot of the details, like the chronology of it, like who was the number one team at the beginning. So, for example, when I think of the Malmö final, the first one, to me, it's like, what the fuck? Navi was supposed to win this. You know, like everyone thought they were going to win that game.
Yeah.
Like it was, like in fact, you had like a hard game against Godsent in the semis. Like everyone thought, oh, this is for sure Navi. So at the time when you did that NiP Magic win, I was like, yeah, it's a cool story, but I never realised actually that thing that you told me, which is, like, let's face it, there haven't been many really big tournaments in Sweden at that point in time, except for in Jönköping, and that was like a very different environment, you know. So the idea that you did win one of those, like in front of the Swedish crowd in an away way, super unexpected, that must have been a really special. I can see why it would be so meaningful for you in that sense, because as you said, to give the Swedish fans like a trophy.
Yeah, I mean, it was because, like, we had, in a way, a semi-curse of not winning the big ones in Sweden in general, felt like.
Yes.
I think we won the ones in Jönköping, all that kind of stuff. But, you know, for example, the one in Globen, or the Globe, you know, winning that one in the beginning, especially with the hype, you know, Fnatic and NiP is here. None of us won. The French guys actually won, you know.
Yes.
Like, there's a storyline to that, you know. So for me, it's like, that win means so much because I think even Barlow said it in one of those videos there's out there on me, you know, like that I play for the fans. And I do play for the fans for years. They're the ones that actually kept me forward. It doesn't need to be necessary just the Swedish ones, for example, but I feel more closer to those ones in a way. So that's why I'm saying it, you know, it's a very meaningful one for me and for my whole career, where, you know, winning that one and give it back to the Swedish audience that's been sitting and waiting for us to win the big ones in Sweden specifically, means the world to me. Like, surely I wanted to win, you know, the first major in Sweden and surely in Jönköping, but that also would be a huge win, you know, a huge memory in my career, you know. But winning it there in Malmö in front of, like, basically felt like everyone had a NiP jersey on him and cheering for us, it means the world. And especially, like I said, we had a rough game against Godsent, and now we were, you know, the final team in the final. Surely Garden started to have his huge issue with his arm.
True.
So we had, you know, a little bit more positive side for us, you know, having actually saying actually we could win this game. But that win meant a lot for every one of us, especially hopefully for the fans as well who was there watching it, you know. That's a memory that's going to be there for the rest of my life.
When earlier on, when I was asking you about losing the majors and, you know, the ones that get the haughty or whatever, like, I actually liked the answer you gave where you said sort of like, you know, if you sort of take a look back and you look at your whole career, you obviously had a really good career. Like, look at all the championships you won. If you frame it this way, right, so you were still, like, obviously you won Auckland in the end of 2017. If we look at how long, like, you win in championships in 2009, you're still winning in 2017. That's 10 years, like 10 full years where you win in championships almost every year. Like, yeah, maybe not 2015 in terms of big ones, but aside from that, almost every year's championships come in, you're still in the mix at least to win championships. You've had an amazing career as a competitive CS player, right?
Yeah, I 100% agree. Like, surely, I think one of the questions answered, not here, but in interviews in general, was like, do I have any regrets in general? More and more when I think about it, no, I don't really have any regrets. Like, it sucks, of course, not to win some of the finals there and there. Like, it's always going to be there, or maybe some of the rules changes have through the years and yada, 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 yada. But in the same time, I'll do it any given day again. No questions asked. Like, I had such a wonderful career, and I couldn't ask for a better fans to be following me and players that I play with and everything, you know, regarding it. So I'm just happy in that regard, you know. And especially for those who knows me really, really well with what I've gone through my whole career. Like, there's no point of feeling ashamed or feeling like, oh, I should have won that, and it would be like the top of the iceberg of my career. No, like, I would say, like, it's the journey. Like, life is a journey, and you decide how the journey is gonna go. And if you want it to be even better and bigger as you imagine it, you have to go and grind for it. And I did everything in my powers to even do it in that way that I wanted to make it. So no, I don't really have any big, huge regrets regarding it. Surely, one that really sticks out that It's the whole maybe the incident with the Fnatic in the early stage.
Right, yeah, the Bucharest thing with the whatever,
but in the same time, I don't feel like there's a point of talking about it because that's under the rug. Me and JW has become much better friends today. You know, I will say like this: we were kids.